Welcome to Buzzed and Baffled, the podcast where the wine is flowing, the stories get weird, and we try our best to keep the chaos to a minimum. Try being the keyword.
Before we jump in, a quick behind-the-scenes truth. Producing the show is basically an Olympic sport. Between being the media manager, the sound engineer, the editor, and trying to control her own voice volume, which, let's be honest, Nicole's has the natural power of a small megaphone, things can get a little unpredictable. So if you hear the occasional mic spike, just know it's not your headphones. It's Nicole living her best and loudest life.
Disclaimer, we're not experts. Just two curious humans with wine in hand and an enthusiasm for the bizarre. Some topics may be dark, sensitive, or downright strange, so listener discretion is advised. And remember, everything you hear is for entertainment only, so take the story seriously, just not too seriously.
And any opinions shared on this podcast are our own and not reflective of any third party.
Now, pour a glass, settle in, and get ready to be buzzed and baffled.
You're going to be a pest. You got to leave right now. I can already tell. Come on.
Oh, for those of you who can't see, Kyla is kicking her daughter out of the room. Poor dog. Poor Lana. She wouldn't let her lick the plate tonight. She's such a mean mom. She's mommy dearest over here.
Sure am. My 2 glasses of wine.
She's got 2 glasses of wine and she's very salty because she just got schooled on the last pod.
Grumbly.
She had to finally admit that eugenics is bad and she doesn't like it.
Yeah. You changed my worldview on everything. Everything I know is gone.
She was very pro-eugenics until she realized how close RFK Jr. was affiliated.
Also, I feel like we need to tell people this. We don't know when this episode's going to be released, so what you're saying about eugenics might be like 6 months ago.
Yeah. Go back to episode 54 if you have questions, people. But we're recording, so we have a spare.
Yeah, because our other spare is being used, so... Yeah. Gotta have a spare, and this is not my finest work, so I was like, let's just record this. And also it's 6:15 p.m., so it's still pretty early.
What she's really trying to do is postpone the inevitable, which is watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 2
of 3.
She thought that it was over, and then she thought there was only one part to the reunion.
Yeah, when the end credits were like, so-and-so did this. I was like, oh, thank God I'm free. And then you're like, no, we have the reunion, and it's 3 episodes. Although I did see an Instagram about Kathy Hilton answering her phone on set.
I think Kathy Hilton is on this one, and I think it's going to be a real banger.
No special wine tonight because this is an episode that we're recording after another episode.
You know what we should do an episode on Kathy Hilton.
Yeah, we could do one on the Hiltons.
Yeah, like the Hiltons.
Because like Nikki married a Rothschild.
Yeah, we saw that movie. We know how that goes. We could also do, who's eye patch lady?
Marisol.
But you need to do it on Marisol, even though they're on hiatus right now.
I'm drinking Freak Show Old Wine Zinfandel because that was what we had on the episode we just recorded, episode 54. I don't know what episode this is.
She also has some Boda Box.
Boda Box because I was slow at dinner and didn't finish it.
I'm drinking some of the pale, and I recognize that we only have 3 bottles, and so we need to get another case stat.
Yeah, we don't have nearly enough wine in this room.
There is definitely not nearly enough wine in this room.
Mind you, our 80-bottle wine fridge is at least half full.
I also think we need to get, like, when we're sitting outside or something, get Mark and Jill to come over and do, like, a pot in the patio or something.
That'd be great. I'm sure Mark has a story to tell. Or something.
No, he'd tell stories about me, and you would love it.
Well.
He'd be like, oh, do you want to hear some stories about Nicole? Let me tell you.
This is a twofer.
So she took 2 bad stories and mashed them together.
Well, they're not bad. They're just short.
Yeah.
And this I was actually originally planning to do as a twofer with Chernobyl episode, but I
Yeah.
ended up with more than I expected on Chernobyl,
Yeah.
and it became a full episode. So I'm actually glad that I'm not like live recording this and releasing it right after my Chernobyl episode, because it would be like eugenics back to back all over again. But this is about power loss.
Wait, is your new fascination killing people with nuclear war?
This isn't about nuclear war, but there's definitely this is about the power grid.
Okay. So kind of like how those people got flooded and murdered when the dam exploded.
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure your themes are still there.
Yep. Men who are incompetent, part 92.
Mine, like my theme is, here's why the police are bad at catching serial killers. And
And
here's
also
how-
Kyla loves eugenics.
I can fit that into any episode. I just got to figure out how.
It's like an Easter egg that our dear readers are just hunting for.
Uh-huh. Well, today I got to use your scissors that you like to sodomize people with.
Oh my god.
To cut the pictures out, so that was nice.
Oh my god.
She doesn't actually sodomize people. She likes stories about people getting sodomized with
don't.
scissors.
No, don't like that either. Still wrong.
I'm gonna get the algorithm on my side again.
You know, this whole thing came about because you're like, I don't listen to the pod. And I was like, well, we're going on a 5-hour road trip. You're going to listen to the pod. And then I was like, oh, listen to this part where you're like, hey, Kyla, guess what? And then you go in to talk about this whole horrible thing. And I made a horrible, horrible mistake.
You created a monster.
I should have just let you be, never listening to the pod. People wouldn't think I'm a eugenicist.
Is this one more example?
Of my lack of self-preservation
Yes.
skills? Yes. This is the crown jewel of my,
Uh-huh.
my gimpy gazelle.
Because I had no idea that I was saying these brilliant little nuggets and dropping them. Like, some people say Taylor Swift is the queen of Easter eggs, but I think it's really me.
I don't know if you could call them Easter eggs. It's so much anymore. They're more like Fabergé's, like highlighted centerpieces.
They're like glazed and there's like light coming down on them.
Gilded. They're behind a protective box for some
I have
reason.
like so much time and energy put into them.
All right.
Okay, so tell me about your power grid and why men are incompetent.
Okay,
I always
this
like
is-
hearing that.
This is called When the City That Never Sleeps Took a Nap. Oh, yeah. What's the city that never sleeps, Nicole?
New York?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I was like, you gonna say that or
Town.
I was gonna say Paris, but like no, that
Paris is
doesn't
a city of lights.
seem- Okay.
Which also would have kind of made sense
Yeah.
here. Okay, I'm going to give you this. You don't have to really study it, but
So this is I'm assuming
it took me a long time to find that. I had to go into like a scholarly
you, like,
article.
hand highlighted.
Yes,
Okay.
because there was no color in the article. Everything was just red.
So I'm gonna take a picture of this for the website. 'Cause
Yeah,
I won't
and-
be able to replicate it.
Yeah. And that's my second or third try. And I will give a disclaimer that I'm not an electrician or an engineer, electrical
Mhm.
engineer. And I tried my best to get the sequence of happenings
I'm
correct.
assuming these numbers are where things went awry.
Yes.
Okay.
And some things were unclear. There was some conflicting information. But we're in New York City, July 13th, 1977.
Is New York City that close to Connecticut?
So New York is at the very bottom of there.
Oh, but because like right here it says New York, Connecticut.
But yes.
Oh, I didn't know
Mhm.
they were that close. Okay.
Yeah. So like Manhattan is at the bottom.
I guess I could look at a goddamn map that's just sitting here.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to help you.
No, there's too many flags in the way.
But yeah, so we're on the part you can't see, the little yellowy, sticky outy part
Okay.
of
The
New York,
the
and
thumb of New
Connecticut's
York?
the purple right above it.
Okay. There's too many flags from my
Mhm.
angle.
But a lot of like high CEO people live in Connecticut, and they get driven to the city every day. It's very close.
Oh, they get driven.
Mhm.
Fancy.
At 8:34 p.m., a lightning strike hit a substation on the Hudson River, causing 2 circuits in Buchanan, New York, which is about 24 miles from New York City, to trip. Most of the city's electricity generation comes from the north because it's it's on the water, it's
Mhm.
kind of at the bottom of the state. You don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Because the circuits had failed, generation at the Indian Point power station was automatically shut down. The power has nowhere to go.
So like water, like power generation.
Yes, power
Okay.
generation. Yep. And you can't just store, you can't store power.
It's going to build up.
Yeah. So they had to shut it down. The circuitry had built-in automation to allow electricity to flow again, but a loose locking nut on the mechanism prevented the breaker from reclosing and restoring power.
So I'm sensing a pattern here from the Chernobyl incident.
Stopping transmission from the substation back into the grid.
Okay.
The loss of power from the Indian Point station was immediately replaced with power from other generators on the grid, but this caused heavier loads on the lines that remained in service. And there is an Indian Point is kind of like that where it's really orange, like keep going, up, down, to the right there.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. It's really light though. It's hard to see.
And I couldn't find an exact like timeline of like this.
Yeah.
But like I said, I had to go to like the congressional report on the incident to find that.
RFK Jr. could have located this.
Shut up.
No, that's good because you could locate it. He
No,
couldn't.
yeah.
I give her a compliment. She doesn't know what to do with it. She's like, shut up.
What
I'm
are you
uncomfortable."
talking about? Built-in circuit breakers were designed to isolate overloaded lines from the rest of the system to prevent damage to both electricity generating and electricity using equipment. Are we recording, by the way? You just looked at your computer like maybe we weren't.
No, we are.
Okay.
Also, you didn't give a title.
Yes, I did. I said it's called When the City That Never Sleeps Took a Nap.
Oh, yeah.
The title that I had ChatGPT create 20 seconds before we started.
We're professionals.
Mm-hmm. Much of the system and the transmission lines used in 1977, which is where we are, had been built after a blackout in 1965 that affected over 30 million people in the northeastern U.S. and Canada for 13 hours.
That's not actually that long.
It's not.
Like,
but that's a lot of people to be without power.
Yeah.
Part of the infrastructure upgrades after the blackout included computerizing operations, establishing regional control centers, implementing sensors that automatically reduce voltage transmissions when disturbances were detected, and developing methods to isolate disrupted parts of the grid to prevent issues from spreading.
I'm also going to guess that in the 70s, computerized systems weren't great.
No, you're like looking at like green letters on a black screen.
Yeah, like this is a DOS scenario.
Yes.
And our younger listeners will not know what DOS is, but look it up.
This was running on like 4x6 floppy disks.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, oh, this shit happened. We have to upgrade everything. We're making the grid so we can isolate parts of it if something happens. We can.
So only those people get a power outage,
Yes.
not everybody.
So it's more under localized. Like everything's in a silo. So like, oh shit, this place is down. We're getting rid of that.
Well, if we learned anything from Chernobyl, silos are great.
Yeah. Sarcophagus. Just 2 days prior, on July 10th, the board chairman of Consolidated Edison, Con Ed, which is the main power supplier, testified before the House of Representatives that a blackout like the one in 1965 would never happen again. Yeah.
I don't even know, but I'm just guessing.
Con Ed was the main power supplier for the vast majority of New York City, and they enacted their outage protocol in which a quick start generating station was to be brought online at 8:45 p.m. to restore power. Hey, we have a power outage here. We're going to put on one of our backup generators. The problem, however, what do you think the problem was? Why they couldn't get a backup station online?
Because the power station had no power, and so they couldn't get the computers to turn on?
Close. Nobody was manning the station.
Okay. Human error.
It had the capability to start remotely, which is fair that there was nobody there. But that also failed.
Of course it did. I'm willing to bet they didn't do a dry run.
Con Ed tried to get other manned stations started, but several had removed their turbines for planned maintenance. So those were unable to generate any power to the city.
I bet you that guy who just before Congress is sweating goddamn
Yeah.
bullets right now.
This will never happen again. 2 days later.
Uh-huh. I picture him like with a cigar and like a handlebar.
See?
Yep.
What do you mean power failure? See? About 18 minutes after the first lightning strike, a second lightning strike deactivated 2 other high voltage transmission lines. One was automatically restored, but the other remained non-functional. At 8:55 p.m., only a few minutes after the second bolt, a third lightning strike tripped yet another line.
At that point, God was very much like, fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah. I'll show you a blackout will never happen again.
Swear on my name, will you?
Yeah, because if he had to testify before Congress, I'm sure he had to be sworn in.
Uh-huh.
As lines went down, the system tried to automatically redistribute the existing loads across working lines, but this resulted in many becoming severely overloaded. At the same time, generators within the grid were trying to keep up with the electricity demands and push power back into the grid for consumers to use. The attempts to reduce loading were not successful.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since you can't store the power, and if it can't get pushed into the grid, what happens? Does it explode?
Yeah, like you'll get a fire started, like a line becomes overloaded.
Okay,
And
so
a
like
fire's
like a
gonna
hot
start.
wire.
Yeah,
kind
like
of.
a transformer's gonna explode.
Okay.
By 9:13 p.m., steps had been taken to reduce voltage on the grid. First by 5%, then by 8%. So they're kind of doing a brownout. The day prior, a 9-day heat wave started.
I was like, when you said July, I was like, oh, July in New York?
In the
Like-
70s, which always just seems like hotter for some
Like,
reason.
but also like, I've never been to New York, but I know that everyone leaves New York in the summer because
Mhm.
it's so ungodly humid and
Mhm.
hot there.
With temperatures reaching 93 degrees.
Oh, you know it was just moist.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
And-
Everything was sweaty
Uh-huh.
and like it was like it was
the concrete is like
glistening.
oozing.
Everything is a slip and slide.
Yeah. Even before the disruptions, the power grid was already being taxed by the use of air conditioners. Con Ed wanted to.
Can you imagine those dinosaur air conditioners from the 70s?
They're so loud.
Everything's just like wah, 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 sucking up all the
Yeah,
volts.
and everyone lives in apartments, so
Yeah.
everybody has
because there's
a
no
window
like,
air
There's
conditioner.
no like central air
Yeah,
happening
they didn't
here.
build central air in those buildings that they constructed in like 1885.
No.
Yeah, it's so loud. There's so much condensation dripping down on the windows.
Just raindrops from down on the pavement.
Con Ed wanted to reduce load but not interrupt service to consumers, obviously. By 9:19 p.m., the last remaining high voltage line linking the Con Ed system to the other power systems
Blew.
short-circuited, leaving only the ties with New Jersey Public Service Electric and Gas Company and the. So you're down. Yep, go down now. So you can kind of see
So we're at 4 right now?
4 and 5.
Okay. So this is the only line keeping
So we
everything
have
up?
that
Okay.
one and the one in New Jersey right now, which goes to the left on the map.
Yeah.
So only the ties with New Jersey Public Service, Electric and Gas, and the Long Island Lighting Company are the only two feeding the city.
At first, so I'm reading the Hudson Avenue bar. I thought it said the Hudson and forget about it.
Forget about it.
I was like, did that say?
Gabagool. Only 2 minutes later, the Long Island Lighting Company was forced to shut down their connection to the grid. The line was extremely overloaded and it exceeded their safety rating.
And they should shut it down.
Yeah.
Suck it, people.
Mhm.
It's not their fault in New Jersey that you couldn't keep your shit together.
This caused even further stress on the New Jersey line,
Mm-hmm.
which is now the only one. All the power to and from the city is going through like one.
Also, why is
High
the New
voltage
Jersey
line.
just cut?
At 9:29 p.m., that line short-circuited.
Okay. So it no longer became a choice.
The entire Con Ed grid became isolated from any external power sources. So
Yep.
you can see on there where I have the red lines, like
Yeah.
it's in a circle.
So like,
Whoop.
so it's all candlelight now, folks.
Yeah. The system was unable to keep up with power demands because people are still using power. They're hoping to
Yeah.
generate it from within the Con Ed system.
Yeah.
But there's like 9 million people who live in New York. They're all running air conditioners. You can't.
You're not.
So automatic shedding disconnected several areas of the grid, trying to keep things in balance.
Well, and certain things get priority, like hospitals, things like that.
Yep. The shedding temporarily allowed the system to balance electricity usage and generation, but it was short lived. Eventually, the grid's voltage increased and became unstable, causing Ravenswood number 3, which I have on there as a dot. It's, yep.
The pink one?
Yep.
Okay. Look at that. She knew I'd be like, pink.
The city's largest power plant to be tripped out of service by its own protective devices.
Well, but that's because everything's going to explode and burn if you don't.
There was no longer sufficient power generation to meet demand, and the entire grid shut down at 9:36 p.m. New York City went completely dark.
I don't know. Like, obviously, maybe not in the winter, I wouldn't be too happy about that. But in the summertime, if like our entire grid went down, I'm like, well, this is fine.
It's not. So the only places
I have a patio. I'll be okay.
that had power were buildings that had their own like natural gas generators. So a hospital, maybe like the World Trade Center had their own.
We just go to Bink and Lisa's. They have their generator.
Bink, we're coming over. The New York Mets were playing a baseball game in Shea Stadium.
Not anymore. Can you imagine getting trapped in that stadium with that many
like-
goddamn people?
And we're in the bottom of the 6th when the power went out.
Were they finally going to win or
I
something?
don't know, probably. Someone probably cracked a home run right when the power went out.
But nobody saw it.
Both major airports, LaGuardia and JFK, were shut down for 8 hours. Highway tunnels had to be closed due to lack of ventilation, and 4,000 people had to be evacuated from the subway system.
I was going to say, like, what happens in the subways?
Mhm.
I'm assuming you walk out.
Yeah, I think what they do is they just... So there's no, like, third rail issue, but
Yeah.
you can't have people just walking around in case the power comes back on.
But also, like, you don't have to worry about a third rail if there's no electricity.
Right, but you don't want people, like, walking on the
Yeah.
third rail when you don't know when power's coming back.
Yeah.
As soon as the grid shut down, Con Ed immediately started working to bring everything back online in sections.
I'm just thinking, like, how long did they make them sit in the subway before they decided, like, so you're sitting in this hot box in the dark underground. They didn't have cell phones back then to light anything up.
No,
It's the
you just
fucking
have like
70s.
police officers with flashlights and like metro transit police officers
Yeah.
herding people off and walking on like the emergency.
But, like, before that, you're all just sitting in the dark in this cart.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure nobody had a flashlight like randomly in their bag or
No.
a candle.
Some lady had a candle
Some
in
old
there.
lady.
No, some hippie had a candle and she lit it. It was the 70s. They had something to light.
Yeah, that's true. Con Ed soon realized, however, that opening the 300 plus breakers needed to section various parts of the grid would require a massive amount of time. So they decided not to continue to do it in portions. They're like, yeah, we can't do this sequentially. 3 attempts to re-energize the grid occurred between 10:26 and 10:36 p.m. through different high voltage connections, but none were successful. Can you imagine being the poor fucking engineer who's like, I'm on night shift.
Normally it's quiet.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything. I'm 23.
Yeah. I just graduated with my degree from like SUNY or something.
Yeah.
The high voltage experienced prior to the shutdown damaged electrical equipment and underground cables, which comprised most of the city's grid access. And they lost the insulating fluid pressure. So the underground cables have the wire,
Yeah.
but they're insulated with like pressurized fluid,
Okay.
which I didn't know.
That seems dangerous.
I'm sure it's some kind of inert fluid that's
Okay.
not conductive.
Okay.
The cables would require a secondary power source to repressurize before the high voltage supply could be returned.
But I mean, it kind of sounds like how nerves work.
This is also really bad planning, much like Chernobyl, where they're like, oh, the 3 things that need to happen for The plant to explode can never happen together.
Well, if it's something we've learned over the course of time as women, is that men kind of lack the ability to plan 3 or 4 steps ahead
Mhm.
and for worst case scenarios. Just like, oh, well, the likelihood of that happening is very low. So we're not going to worry
Yeah,
about
you
it.
know, some woman who graduated in like 1972 with her electrical engineering degree was like sitting in the Con Ed boardroom with
She's
her
like,
lips pursed.
she's like, well, well, well.
She was like,
She pulls out the memo that she gave
Yeah.
them all.
it's carbon copy.
Her typewritten memo.
Yep. In 1977, New York City and its residents were in a tough spot. The city was in a financial crisis that began in 1975 when it nearly declared bankruptcy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, New York City in the 70s was like not a place to be. Nationwide, civil unrest and frustration with the government.
There are so many goddamn rich people that live there. How do they not have money to run the goddamn city?
Well,
You have Wall Street there. Like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
but this was also the 70s and what just ended? The Vietnam War.
Okay. But you still have a bunch of fucking billionaires where they just
There's
not
no billionaires there at this point.
Oh.
That was like started in the 80s when
like Wolf of Wall
tech
Street
came about and the
Yeah.
stock market resurged.
Okay.
The Vietnam War had recently ended and Watergate was only a few years earlier. So people are really upset with the government as a whole across the whole country. But
Well, I mean, I feel like maybe we should be just kind of all the
Yeah.
time.
the city was also on edge for another reason.
Was there a serial killer? I say with glee.
David Berkowitz was committing the Son of Sam murders,
Uh-huh.
with the most recent killing being only 2.5 weeks earlier, and he wouldn't be caught for another month.
Well, much like Ted, that dog should have stopped barking.
Poor Teddy. Is Teddy telling you to kill people?
Yes. Every time I walk down the street and he knows that I'm rounding the corner and he starts barking at me.
I know. He started barking and I was like, oh, Nicole must be coming. And then he, like, when he sees you, he really starts.
Yeah. Like what he's saying is kick David, kick David, kick David.
So that, I mean, that'd be scary though, especially if you're a young brunette woman,
Yeah.
because first of all, you're not safe as it is.
Yeah.
Secondly,
You're in
now,
New York in the 70s. You're
Yeah.
already like, it's a
Yeah.
bad time.
Yeah. and now there's no power.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm blonde. I'd be fine.
Unlike the 1965 blackout, which was peaceful and brought citizens together, this time,
Riots.
under cover of darkness, looting and violence started almost immediately.
Did they like burn things to the ground?
Yes, and affected 31 neighborhoods in the city. People
Yep.
were like, they're hot,
They're like, fuck this noise.
they're mad. I mean, everyone's in financial trouble.
Fuck the horse you rode it
Yeah.
on.
In the Crown Heights neighborhood, 75 stores over a 5-block area were looted.
Sorry, I'm watching the crows fly around outside the window.
No, you're not.
But my children are out there.
I just whipped the curtain closed. Oh, I can't see through this pink curtain. Arsonists hit the Bushwick neighborhood. By morning, 25 fires were still burning. People have just lost their fucking minds.
If it was 95 degrees, so
And you-
let's say in 2026,
Mhm.
exactly how things are now,
Mhm.
and the power goes out for several days, I'd fucking riot too. You're
Mhm.
gonna have to stand up and slide
I
the
know.
top.
I'm just not going to do it. I'm not getting up. I'm also not in my usual pod giving position. I have my legs aren't crisscross applesauce in my chair.
And she doesn't have the arm stretched out to its maximum capacity where it cannot possibly move anymore.
I'm trying something new.
She goes, and I hate it. I
know,
hate everything
like,
about this.
I'm not comfortable. Like, hold on, I gotta move. There we go. There,
See, I'm over here lounging
with your feet up.
with my
Yeah.
feet up in the table.
35 blocks on Broadway were destroyed when 134 stores were looted and 45 of them set on fire.
Ooh, but there were some good stores to loot there too. I would have been down there. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna get myself a little Dior, maybe some Tiffany's, little
You
smashing,
were going to Fifth Avenue.
little smash and grab.
A car dealership in the Bronx had 50 new cars stolen.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, and back then, it wasn't like there was computer chips to track it.
Oh, no.
Those were
and
gone
you could just
forever.
open, like, pop those locks with a hanger and hotwire it.
Yeah, like, you didn't need, like,
No.
fingerprints to,
You
like, turn
need
it
a key
on.
fob. In Brooklyn, witnesses saw vehicles backing up to storefronts, tying ropes to the grates, and driving away, pulling the iron bars with them.
I'm willing to bet Brooklyn in the 70s was very different than Brooklyn now.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a little scarier.
I think it was a lot grittier
Mm-hmm.
and not so artisty. I mean, Brooklyn's still Brooklyn, but
I don't think that it had been gentrified.
right. Exactly.
It is not a place that they would have welcomed someone with my appearance. A little too bisky.
Mayor Abraham Beam ordered 25,000 city employees, firefighters, police, pretty much anyone who worked for the city, to report to work immediately, but only about half were able to get into the city because there's no transportation.
Also, how did they get a hold of them? There's no electricity or anything.
I have no idea.
Was it like passenger pigeons?
I'm assuming people had their like battery transistor radios going.
I missed the time where you could like shortwave radios and just like be able to hear it.
I'm sure you do.
I used to be able,
Hold on.
I used to be able to have a scanner that I got from Walmart, and I could pick up people's cordless phones and listen to their conversation.
You're going to be like, I used to have a ham radio set up, and I could like Morse code other people. Governor Hugh Carey sent additional state police officers to assist the NYPD, who received more than 67,000 calls during the outage. Mayor Beam said Con Ed was guilty of gross negligence and, quote, "We've seen our citizens subjected to violence, vandalism, theft, and discomfort."
Yeah, that like went a little beyond the pale.
Yeah. The blackout has threatened our safety and has seriously impacted our economy. We've been needlessly subjected to a night of terror in many communities that have been wantonly looted and burned. The costs, when finally tallied, will be enormous, end quote. Crews worked through the night, and by the next morning, some areas started to have power service again as early as 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Some people probably didn't even know the blackout occurred. They
were
went to bed.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when they woke up, they're like, oh, weird. But
Yeah. Like my clock isn't right.
Yeah.
My alarm didn't go off.
Yeah. My red alarm clock is blinking.
Well, and I'm sure it was the thing where like the number flipped.
Oh,
it wasn't like light up.
The sound of that flipping
Would wake me up.
Yeah.
There is
I wouldn't be able to like.
Well, I can't have any clock that has a second hand. It has to be a silent, because if I can hear the tick,
That actually doesn't bother me because, well, we have one in the bathroom that does that. But if
Yeah,
I
I
focus on
know.
it, it just it lulls me to sleep.
when I'm at work, the cheap clocks in the offices that I'm not in control
the
of,
wall clocks.
I'm just like, because mine is a silent hand.
Because it's a Rolex and it doesn't tick. It just sweeps.
No, the one on the wall
Is a Rolex.
But the ones in the other offices, I can hear people like, "What's that noise?" I'm like, it's the goddamn clock on the wall. Tick, tick, tick.
Interesting. I just tuck that behind my ear. The entire city wasn't back online until 10:39 p.m. on July 15th. So we're over 24 hours, 25, 26 hours. What are you looking at?
So, like, I'm assuming I'm seeing a shadow from a tree because it looks like a
Yes.
squirrel just
Yes,
like
there's a
ran
tree
up the
right there.
window and
Yep.
down. Okay.
In total, 550 police officers were injured and over 4,500 people were arrested.
Maybe they shouldn't have arrested all those people and then they wouldn't get hurt.
3,776 of those arrestees were in the largest mass arrest in history. The police were just like, fuck it, we're arresting everybody.
Like,
if you're out, you're getting arrested.
If you're in the vicinity, you're getting arrested.
You got no business being over here. You're getting arrested. 1,616 stores were damaged.
Can you imagine being in Times Square when this happened?
No.
That'd
You're
be
just like a
awful.
tourist, like a Japanese tourist.
You're just standing there watching Underwear Cowboy strum his banjo or whatever it is that he
Well, it was
does.
1977, so he was probably like a toddler, but
Well, he was out there still, I'm sure. Just in like he was at a diaper.
in a diaper. 1,037 fires were responded to. Many of them were severe, so not just like a trash can fire. A congressional report was released.
Well, I'm sure like maybe some transistors like set things on fucking
Yeah,
fire. Like
yeah.
if they
So there's
blew,
arson, but there's
yeah,
also you have to,
things explode.
there's damaged electronics as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know when ground fault interrupters were standard. I'm guessing it was after 1977. That doesn't seem like something that people in the 70s were concerned
Well,
about.
considering I don't think my house is wired to safety standards, I don't know.
The house that got ordered from the Sears catalog.
It definitely did. Like I can't find. I looked. I spent one day going through every Sears catalog model that I could find, but I know they were really big in like the Seattle area, like that little bungalow.
Mm-hmm.
And my floor plan is an original, but there's another one up on the top of the hill. And if I ever see it going up for sale, I'm going to go do a tour of it because I want to see what the floor plan is.
A congressional report was released and estimated the damage at $300 million, which today is $1.6 billion. This is 24 hours. And a lot of this is at night.
Go big or go home. This is less than 24 hours.
Yeah. 4 people were killed during the blackout.
That's actually a really low number from what I was expecting.
3 of those.
Wait, 4 people killed by crime or like 4 people died?
3 of those died in fires.
Okay.
And 1 was a store owner who was murdered by looters breaking into his drugstore.
That's not great. But I would think there'd be more deaths.
I was
of,
actually
like,
surprised
heat stroke,
that there was
like
only 4. I thought it would have been higher, like just accident stuff.
Or like old people who like their medical stuff isn't working.
Yeah, when I got to that, I was like, oh, that's actually quite low.
Yeah.
That day, Superman was filming in the area.
You mean the guy with the neck?
Oh my God, Nicole. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I mean. The guy with the neck.
Yep. They get it.
Rest in peace, Christopher Reeve. Oh my God, you are the worst. Oh my God.
I mean, he was a perfectly nice human being, I'm sure.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Yes, that's Superman. At the same time that the power went out, like exactly the same time, a cinematographer was trying to get more light for the shot that they were doing, and he plugged his lamp into a street light, and for months he believed he caused the blackout.
I got a lot of questions here. Where can you plug something into a street light?
You never seen like an electrical box on a street light?
No.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I mean, it's not on all of them, but
okay.
Yeah, there's some streetlights that have like an outdoor.
So, but this guy was like, went to plug a light in and thought he caused the blackout.
For months, he believed he caused it.
That's really funny. And he's just like, I hope nobody ever finds out.
Yeah, this is like really bad timing. 9 months after the outage, what do you think happened?
I think there was a lot of babies being born.
Yep, maternity wards in the metro area were suddenly swamped.
Uh-huh. Although it's 94 degrees and there's no AC.
Yeah, I know. Like,
gross.
Yeah, on your 36th floor apartment.
Uh-huh.
In musty 1977. I don't know why I imagine the 70s as being musty, but I think it was probably musty.
I'm guessing it's musty. Well, because first of all, everything's
like brown and beige.
Also,
and that's musty to me.
There's no cotton fabric to be seen anywhere.
It's polyester head to toe.
So like it's musty.
Water beds everywhere.
Yup. And they're always like leaking a little bit. So yeah, everything there is musty and it smells a little skunky.
Yeah, and it's a city, so everything has like a faint scent of urine as well.
And hot trash.
And like hot trash. Yep.
Yep.
That's the New York City blackout of 1977.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I feel most bad for the guy who thought he caused it.
That would be like, oh my God, I'd feel so be like, Can you imagine just like plugging your tiny
Like I go and
like
plug
your
my
floor lamp in?
my Dyson in,
The
and
entire
the
city
city
shuts down.
shuts down. I'm like, oh, whoops.
So that's part 1.
Okay.
Part 2 is 1000% unrelated. These stories have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
Okay.
And that's not a trick like when I told you that Carrie Stainer and Steven Stainer story. They're literally 2 different stories.
I'm like, I'll be the judge of that. Is this one about eugenics?
No, it's not.
Are
I'm
we
over that.
are
I'm
we
sure.
sure?
And if you can find a way to put eugenics in here, I'll give you a bravo.
No, I'm all more than a bravo if I can make that connection.
I feel like that's not a hard enough challenge for you. And you probably, like, somehow you probably freaking could.
What if I'm just like, oh, didn't you know the connection between blah, blah, blah and blah, blah, blah?
You probably will. Okay. All right. Okay. Photos are up there.
Okay, so we have,
A young man.
I was like, but I can't tell if that's a man or a woman.
That's a man.
A young man.
Yeah.
And fighter jets.
Yes.
Is this the Pepsi fighter jet?
This is the Pepsi Jet story.
Okay.
This is
I was like, there's a Pepsi symbol on there.
Sip Sip Boom, the day Pepsi sold a warplane.
Fucking Pepsi.
Do you remember the ads for this campaign? The Pepsi stuff
I
program?
don't, but I vaguely remember this. I don't remember him being like, "Rar, I saved all these tabs or
Mhm.
whatever." But I do remember vaguely hearing at some point that like he was in a lawsuit with them.
Yes.
I hope he won. I haven't got his. He can't fly it. What the fuck is he gonna do? Unless he's that guy who stole a commercial jet and was like, "I play video games. This will be fun."
Oh, yeah. There's some like, I'm stalling because I'm pouring a fresh glass of wine. There's some very high percentage of men who believe that in an emergency they could land a commercial airplane just using instructions from aircraft control.
David's in that
Oh,
group.
I actually think I asked him that once, and he's like, "Oh, not a chance. Could I do that?"
A lot of men also think they could fight off a bear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's not a chance that you could fight off a
Or
bear.
the percentage of men who, sorry men, but I'm not sorry, who think they could score a point in tennis on Serena and Venus Williams
Yeah.
or Venus Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Men's bravado never ceases to astound
Yeah.
me.
How many stories have I done where it's because like a man didn't listen to a woman?
I think we need to start figuring out who is the dumbest man in history.
Oh, that's a good challenge. Dear listeners and readers,
Send us on Buzzed and Baffled Instagram or Facebook messengers.
yeah,
Send us
your
story-
nomination.
your
for dumbest men in
nominations for
history.
dumbest men in history, and we will start to do stories.
We'll do some stories,
and we will create a ranking system.
Oh yeah, we will.
And we'll have to come up with we'll ask ChatGPT to help. Like, how do we rate these?
Yeah.
Like, there's different categories.
Yeah, we'll come up. Yeah, that can be like an ongoing thing, and maybe for like our 100th episode or something,
I'm
we'll
gonna add this
reveal
to
it.
the list.
Okay, the Pepsi Stuff program. It started in 1996, and for our intrepid listeners who don't remember, Pepsi started a program in which consumers could trade in points for items. Like a T-shirt was 75 points.
How old were you in 1996?
10 years old.
Okay.
And I'm a Diet Coke girl now, through and through.
I've never been
True-blooded.
I am never a Pepsi girl. I'm always a Fridge Sit girl.
We drank Pepsi when we were little, but like my dad liked Pepsi and my cousin liked this.
Oh, I
like,
don't know.
We
I
also
heard
weren't buying our own pops.
You
so.
drank some kind of weird generic 7
That
Up
was one time.
that gave your mom gout or something.
She had a gallbladder attack.
Poor Jail Dill. She drinks like Starry Night or something.
It was Bubble Up or some shit like that. Yeah. But there was a period when we were younger where it was like Pepsi, not Coke, Pepsi. And that was when the cubes just came out. I remember that. like
You
the
mean like
cubes of
like a
Pepsi,
like a 6-pack or a 12-pack?
like
Or
a
they were
24
square?
pack. But
Oh,
like I
yeah.
remember that, and it was like we didn't drink a lot of pop growing up. Like we really didn't.
We weren't a pop household either, but like if I was like if you're in a restaurant, then you can
Yeah,
get
but this was
one.
like I remember like my cousins visiting from Washington State, so like
They
we're
were
having
worldly.
we're having picnics and
Yeah.
it's summer and we're outside. So I remember that.
I'm gonna see if I can find some bubble up for your mom.
She won't drink it. She'll be like, "Nope, I can't drink cheap pop.
Only fridge cigs.
Only fridge things." So a t-shirt was 75 points. A leather jacket, if you wanted to wear a sweet Pepsi jacket, was 1,450 points.
In the 90s, I had a sweet ass. It was LA something. It was
LA Gear.
LA Gear. It
Yep.
was a denim jacket with a fully beaded LA Gear
Oh.
circle emblem on the back.
Do you
wish-
think Bink still has that somewhere?
He may have that somewhere in the house.
Because that would be rad.
If I could find that, I should ask Lisa if Bink has my LA Gear denim jacket.
if he wears it with when he wears his girl jeans.
Is it diamond encrusted jeans?
What? These are for men. That's like a Friends episode. Bink is a living Friends episode.
Are you wearing mom's work shirt? Why would you ask that? Because there's velvet tubing on the neck and sleeve.
Bink. I bet he got mad about it too.
He did. He went and he changed.
At least he changed.
The jeans were still there, but the shirt was different. I'm in my mind. He put the mesh shirt on.
Mm-hmm. The shirt that's mesh
Mesh on top, not on bottom.
for some reason. You could get sunglasses, and it was from their Pepsi Stuff catalog.
Mhm.
You could get points by purchasing specially marked Pepsi items.
Mhm.
You know, if you get a 12-pack, there was a little like box you cut out.
See, at that age, I want a Diet Mountain Dew. I wasn't even a Pepsi or a Coke
Well,
girl.
so it's like Pepsi products, I think.
Oh, I don't know what Mountain Dew.
But
which-
Mountain Dew's a Pepsi product.
Oh.
But so yeah, it was kind
Mhm.
of the start of that rewards.
Can you
ad campaign.
imagine how many bottle tops you would have to have accumulated? Because I'm sure each bottle top isn't like $1 or one. Is it?
I
one
think
point?
like one was what. So for a 12-pack, you got like 12 points.
So for $1,000 for your stupid jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid. Like,
Yeah. Just go buy the goddamn jacket if
Uh-huh.
that's what you want.
You may remember the TV commercial for the promotion. And if you hit pause right now, I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
And we'll also post it on buzzandbaffled.net so our intrepid viewers
Can watch
can
it
watch
at the same
it at
time.
the same time.
Okay, I'm pausing. Okay, so that kid definitely made Pepsi his entire personality.
Yeah,
but
I just-
also, there's definitely a fighter jet for
Mhm.
7 million Pepsi points. Considering, though, that, like, the jacket's 1,000, like, that seems not very high for what a fighter jet actually costs.
you would think.
Because, like, if we were to math it, we're going to have to figure it out and, like, write the equation out.
Oh, we don't have to figure it out. I'm going to talk about it.
Okay, because I want to know, like, how much a fighter jet is versus how much Pepsi
Yep,
you would have to
yep.
buy.
Oh, don't worry. I got the answers for you.
Okay, good.
John Leonard up there,
That doofus.
totally 90s. He's wearing like a rugby shirt with a white collar.
It's not even popped. It should be popped, but it's not.
He's a 21-year-old business student from Seattle.
Of course he is.
He saw the ad that millions of others saw that we just watched, but John noticed something. Consumers could also purchase points directly from Pepsi for 10 cents each, rather than collecting and redeeming packaging labels.
Okay.
John convinced 5 investors, remember he's a business student, to lend him a cumulative $700,000, which he sent in March 1996, along with 15 physical Pepsi points that he cut from packages or
But
had bottle
also,
caps.
$700,000 for a fighter jet is a goddamn steal.
Mhm. And $8.50 for shipping and handling to Pepsi.
Why $8? Does he think that's how much it costs to ship a fighter jet?
That's what the thing says, include $8.50 for shipping and handling.
Okay.
John was purchasing and redeeming the 7 million Pepsi points needed for the AV-8 Harrier 2 jet from the commercial.
Which is how much?
Well, it's $700,000 to
But
buy
how-
7 million points.
Uh-huh.
I'll talk about real life costs in a minute.
Okay.
So this fighter jet is the same model used by the United States Marine Corps to, quote, attack and destroy surface targets under day and night visual conditions.
Because I'm
end
looking
quote.
at that. That looks like I never even saw the stupid movie.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yeah.
That's cheesily one of my favorite movies of all time.
I was gonna say Pony Boy, but that's a different
Pony
Tom
Boy.
Cruise movie.
Different Tom Cruise movie. I think the plot's a little bit different in that one. Also, the movie's not called Pony Boy.
No, but that's something like the big phrase from the movie. I read the book. I never saw the movie.
So he's got
I was over talkies by then.
he's got his money, his order form,
His 850 and
his
shipping and
850
handling.
shipping and handling, and his 15 points that you have to. So you can buy all the points you want, but at least 15 points have to come from purchased products.
Mm-hmm.
He sends the whole thing into Pepsi. Their fulfillment office rejected his submission.
Can you imagine being the person who's like, what the fuck do I do with this?
Yeah. Stating, quote, the item that you have requested is not part of the Pepsi Stuff collection. It is not included in the catalog or on the order form, and only catalog merchandise can be redeemed under this program.
Not per your commercial, sirs and madams.
The Harrier jet in the Pepsi commercial is fanciful and is simply included to create a humorous and entertaining ad. We apologize for any misunderstanding or confusion that you may have experienced and are enclosing some free product coupons for your use.
That
End
is
quote.
not how advertising works.
John, who was represented by an attorney even before submitting the order form.
Because he knew what was going to happen.
And we knew that because the $700,000 check he sent in was drawn on a law firm account.
Yep.
Responded to Pepsi with, quote, your letter of May 7th, 1996 is totally unacceptable. We have reviewed the videotape of the Pepsi Stuff commercial that we just watched, and it clearly offers the new Harrier jet for 7 million Pepsi points. Our client followed your rules explicitly. This is a formal demand that you honor your commitment and make immediate arrangements to transfer the new Harrier jet to our client. If we do not receive transfer instructions within 10 business days of the date of this letter,
this attorney firm was like, yes, we'll do this.
You will leave us no choice but to file an appropriate action against Pepsi, end quote.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
See, I think the whole thing is dumb, but I also love watching a corporate entity get their comeuppance.
Of course, Pepsi did not send a military-grade jet to a 21-year-old.
They should, though. That's what he paid for.
And, of course, they both filed lawsuits against each other.
Uh-huh.
First, Pepsi filed a declaratory judgment action in New York seeking a court order, like preemptively. They knew this was going to be trouble.
But they chose the state which they thought they'd have the easiest ability to win.
And I believe they're based in...
Because he's not in New York.
No, but I believe they're based in Connecticut. Like Pepsi headquarters, which falls under like the Southern District of New York federal court system. And they were seeking a court order that they did not have any obligation to give him a jet. John then filed suit in Florida to dismiss Pepsi's judgment request. As a lot of cases do, they went back and forth over jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah. And eventually it was transferred to the Southern District of New York where Pepsi originally filed.
Okay.
The court also found that because John filed in Florida, a place that had absolutely no relationship to the case, he didn't live there.
Like nobody
Pepsi's not there. That Pepsi was entitled to attorney's fees related to the litigation they had to do in Florida to get the case transferred.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. You should have done it in Washington where you were located.
Yeah,
but you were choosing to do it in a state
because you're looking for a loophole or something.
Yeah.
That's bad faith.
But also, like, that's a gamble you took.
Mm-hmm. John was ordered to pay $88,162 within 32 days. 30 days.
Yeah.
John then tried to have his suit voluntarily dismissed, likely to avoid paying the legal fees.
Uh-huh.
But the court said,
you started this.
You started this. You either pay or you keep litigating.
So was this an example of a 20-year-old white male who was just too goddamn sure of himself?
Perhaps. He's like, I'm a business student. So he had no choice but to continue the lawsuit.
Yep.
In his suit, he alleged he is, quote, typical of the Pepsi generation. He is young, has an adventurous spirit, and the notion of obtaining a Harrier jet appealed to him enormously, end quote.
No, it didn't. You got an attorney thinking you were going to get a payday.
Mhm. You thought you were the smartest person who ever saw that commercial.
Every white man in this country thinks they're the
Yeah.
smartest person in the room.
He also claims that he obtained a Pepsi stuff catalog and followed the instructions. The original order form must be used, and at least 15 original Pepsi points must be sent in. We
Mhm.
talked about that. While he agreed that the Harrier jet was not listed as an option in the catalog, he objected to the implication that, quote, because an item was not shown in the catalog, it was unavailable, end quote. So that's what he's hinging his whole argument on.
But I think that because they advertise that you could, that is still an option.
Well, and this case, dumb as it may be,
Mhm.
much like my McDonald's hot coffee
But
case,
it shapes how people advertise and label
yes,
things.
had serious implications for case law advertisements going forward.
Because, like, was the coffee too hot at McDonald's? Yes.
Yep.
Is that woman an idiot for putting a
Yes.
styrofoam cup between
Mhm.
her thighs? Yes. Two things can be right at the same
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Like, was this ad done in jest? Yes.
Mhm.
But also, did you offer this? Yes.
Mhm.
His lawsuit goes on to state that he did originally try to collect 7 million Pepsi points, but soon realized he'd never be able to purchase and drink enough Pepsi to do so, which prompted him to buy them instead using their
Yeah.
10-cent per point loophole. He also claimed that because Pepsi changed the commercial twice after the one we saw,
Yeah.
once they updated the points amount needed to 700 million,
Yeah.
and then in a third
Because they realized the error
Uh-huh.
of their ways.
in a third edition of the commercial, they added just kidding under the $700 million amount.
But was that after the lawsuit started?
Mhm. He's alleging that Pepsi knew the ad was likely to be taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 years of court proceedings, the court found several things. 1, an advertisement does not constitute an offer or contract.
Interesting. Okay.
Mhm. And the Pepsi commercial pointed to the catalog for items available in the promotion. The offer in the ad is not a negotiation. The promotion required compliance with the catalog's order form, which John himself admitted did not have the jet listed as an
Yeah.
option. They found 2, a reasonable person would not have considered the commercial as an offer, and it was clearly done in a humorous manner, especially because it showed a teenager flying a military-grade aircraft to high school.
Yes.
The 7 million Pepsi points required would necessitate drinking 190 Pepsis per day for the next 100 years.
Okay. Like, no one can drink 190 Pepsis a day.
And even with the points purchase option, no reasonable person would believe a fighter plane could be purchased for $700,000. In 1996, a Harrier jet cost about $30 million.
Yes.
Which is just under $70 million today.
Yeah.
They also found that, thirdly, there is no written agreement between John Leonard and Pepsi requiring them to supply a jet, so no contract was breached. Pepsi never cashed his check.
Okay.
John Leonard lost the case.
And he had to pay the $8,000.
Pepsi did not pursue the $88,000 in legal fees.
That's good.
Which is like good on them, but also they lucked out that
Yeah. Because it could have gone the
it
other way.
could have gone the other way, and they would have had to give him a $30 million jet.
I bet you they never put that in an ad again.
In February 2026, John Leonard partnered with Frontier Airlines for a Super Bowl ad as part of a promotion allowing customers to swap loyalty points from other brands for Frontier miles.
I was saying, first
Not Spirit.
Was it Spirit?
Yeah, dear readers, Spirit Airlines just shut down today.
They shut down. Although, like, last week, they're like, oh, we're not shutting down. Continue to book flights and pay. Like, that's fucking shitty because people think, oh, in October, I'm going to Savannah on Spirit Airlines. Yeah. No, you ain't.
No. So he redeemed his 7 million Pepsi points for 7 million miles with Frontier. which is a promotion. This,
Yeah.
in real life, it was limited to like 5,000. So if
Yeah.
you have 5,000 Starbucks points or whatever, Frontier would like be like, oh, give us those and we'll give you 5,000 miles, or
Yeah.
whatever your loyalty program
Yeah.
is. You would have unlimited Ulta miles or whatever.
I mean, the U in Ulta's already for U-bangers, so.
Essentially, it gave him free flights on Frontier Airlines for life.
I mean, based on how Spirit Airlines is going, I don't know if that's going to mean anything.
Well, this is
soon.
Frontier, but also Frontier's not the greatest. That's the one that had the door pop out in the middle of the flight.
Although, I have to say, weird allegiant to Mesa. It's a bare bones operation, but no doors popped off.
Hey, if you get there, you get there. I mean, yeah water might cost $1, but your flight was $99.
I can also I can bring my own water. It's fine.
Pepsi Jet, a kid who kind of
he thought he was so smart.
He thought he was being so smart, and I think what happened is he realized he was in too deep, but the court was like, like this isn't for funsies, kid. This is real life.
No, I always tell people, don't write checks your ass can't cash.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to follow through on whatever you start.
Yeah. You've also said, don't write ass, your checks can't cash.
But that's not what I said this time. So
it's already in the books. I do remember seeing that commercial. I remember probably trying to get Pepsi points, like cutting out so I could get like, I don't know, a fucking Frisbee or something.
I don't like I might get signed up for a reward program,
actually,
but I've never like committed
I
to
remember what I did. They had I have a videotape, like a tape of the movie The Mask of Zorro, because I got 32 Mountain Dew points or something, and that's what I redeemed them for.
Like the one with Antonio Banderas?
Yes.
And it's like a VHS copy.
Yes. And I think that's the only thing I've ever like collected points for. And I would be like, my dad would have like a party out at the camp, and so I would get like them out. I didn't. I'm like $32 for that stupid fucking
I'm like,
VHS.
That's like $32 for a
Plus,
VHS.
I'm sure I had to pay like $8.50 shipping and handling. But it's still downstairs somewhere, I'm sure.
Also, did you ever do the Columbia House CD thing? Where like you're 14 years old and they convince you can get like 20 CDs for a penny?
I went as far as like, I really like pulling out those stamps because they were like perforated.
Clearinghouse?
No, Columbia House had like, you would get the sheet of like all the CDs you could get, but they were like perforated stamps.
They're like food stamps.
Yeah, and like you picked your 6 or whatever.
Yeah,
but that was as far as I got. Do you owe Columbia House money?
No, I don't, because I was under the age of 18 when I did that.
Me too. I never did send mine in, but
I'm sure I did.
But that was my best part, was like, ooh, what 6 CDs am I gonna pick? And I'm like, ooh, Sublime. Also, I'm like 10. I probably shouldn't be listening to Sublime.
I love Sublime.
Well, you were driving.
I was driving at that time. Although, so the first car I ever got, Bink bought me a Z24 Chevy. So it was like a V8 sports car.
Just what a 16-year-old needs.
With a sunroof and like,
damn.
It had a CD player, but I had one CD. And any of my friends who listen to this, and this is you, Leah, we played La Bouche, Be My Lover, on repeat. Gonna be my lover. We played it over and over as we cruised the Uper Loop. Because gas was like 96 cents a gallon.
Yeah. And your car got like 13 miles to the gallon.
But that car got sold not for anything I did, but for something Leah did.
Oh, no.
So we were at a school dance, and Leah was misbehaving. And so I left the school dance to bring Leah home because she was no longer welcome on the premises.
Okay. I appreciate that you're choosing your words wisely.
But at that same instance, Bink was convinced that I was at a frat party. Yeah, a tech frat party. And my mom's like, well, why don't we go look and see if her car's at the dance?
Oh no.
And it wasn't, because I drove Angel home and I drove Leah home up in Sullivan Estates. And when they went to look, I was driving them home because Leah was bad.
So Leah owes you a car.
Leah owes me one Z24 Cavalier.
What color was it?
Black.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yep. It was actually a really nice car.
Rich girl over here.
So yeah, Leah, when you finally get to this episode, you can text me and let me know that you are now aware that you owe me one Z24 1986 Cavalier. Whatever.
Leah had nothing to do with this. Maybe Leah should sue you like John Leonard sued Pepsi.
No, because Leah knows that this isn't slander. Leah knows it's true.
You will prevail in a court of law.
I will prevail.
Brittany's like, God damn it. Are you kidding me with
Angel's
this?
like, yeah, I was there. Leah's parents would be like, yeah, that happened. And my Lisa would be like, yeah.
So maybe actually Lisa owes you a car.
Or maybe Bink.
Or yeah, Bink owes you a car.
Bink owes me my Z24 Cavalier.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's my ridiculous story. Dumb and Dumber.
Yep. Not nearly as entertaining as the last one that you squirmed in. But
Yeah. Yeah, I was much more comfortable telling you about this with my autism map over there of the electrical grid of New York
I'm just
City.
like looking at it, like, ooh, it's color coded and everything.
Different highlighter colors, different pen colors. I spent many minutes on that.
So, enjoy our random episode.
Random unnumbered episode.
Yeah. It'll be there at some point. To the next pour and the next plot twist.